asking yourself, what is this guy doing here? Well, I tell you, a few weeks ago, Pope Francis and I were talking, and he says to me, Guide, that's my name, Pope and I are BFFs. He says, Guide, I want you to go to California and celebrate this man who's been out of this church for 20 years. And I think, well, Frank, I don't capisce this. A lot of priests have been at the church for 20 years. What's the big deal? And he says, Guide, you don't understand. This is not a Catholic church. It's one of those churches. And at this church, the people hire the staff. Nobody else does it, and if they don't like them, they go. And if the staff doesn't want to be there, they can go get a job someplace else. So I think, oh, so that means this church want to have this man for 20 years. And he want to be here for 20 years. I got to go celebrate this. Besides, he's my boss, I got to do it. You know. So you probably noticed I'm a smart person, and I think I should do some research before I go. So, and I'm good at the research. I can tell you why I'm good. I knew years ago that the Barack Obama was born in the USA. So I did some research, and I found out that Dina Shepard has been the music director of this church for 20 years. He might even be here today. Are you here, Dina? Oh, congratulations, Dina. I also find out in my research that there is nowhere written how old this man is. It's like a classified. You gonna tell us?
I started when I was 12.
See what I told you? It's a mystery. Anyway, I find out that a dean has a lovely wife. Name is Yella.
Father, it's not Ella, it's Ella.
Cosa?
Ella.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's Ella. Why would I think her name was Yella? Dina and Ella have a baby named Hurley. And I thought that was a funny name for a baby. Maybe he spit up a lot, I don't know. So, more research. Dina came in here 20 years ago, and when he came in here, there was a bell choir, a vocal choir. Who's in this again? And there was one cantata a year. That's the biggest celebration thing. And that was it. Now, 20 years later, we got two bell choir, one vocal choir, two cantata, and today was a dynamite cantata. I sneak in that. Yeah. Plus, we got a band, and sometimes we hire professional musicians to play in the band. Worship is like a hootenanny here. So, Dina not only been here for 20 years, he's been growing the music program for 20 years. Quite an achievement. Yeah. So I did more research. I wrote to the people that work with the dean in the music groups. And I got to some stuff, yeah. So I found out, first of all, I got a note from the tenors. All of the tenors signed it, except Gene. Gene's home sick still. And they said that Dean treats them like basses some of the time. I don't understand that, but that's what they say. And then another person in the choir has a friend that met the dean before he started to work on it here. He was here incognito. He decided to visit the church before he signed up to work here. He's a smarty too. So this lady, you might have heard of her, Bev Wetherill, spotted a visitor. And so she decided to go talk to him and welcome him and tell him about it at the church. And Dina said, no, I'm just a visiting. I guess he'd been visiting for 20 years. I don't know. And there's a couple of people, 3 people that want to say something about it, Dean. One is Ryan. Is Ryan here? He doesn't always show up. Oh, there's Ryan. He's in a 2 choir.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank Dean for accepting me into both vocal choirs and both bell choirs at a young age of 14. And they're a lot of fun if you guys want to join. You know, we always need extra people. So, also, I really like the way he teaches us all the professional music terms, which like a diphthong and a glottal stop, and an unaccented schwa is my favorite. Is where you put an as in put at the end of a word, so you guys could understand the words better. So, thank you, Dean.
Thank you, Ryan. Can you say that stuff in a church? This is a California. I guess it's okay. Okay, we got Phil. Phil will play all kinds of instruments, the organ, the piano, the banjo, who knows?
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Excuse the carrot. Well, first of all, Dean, congratulations. Congratulations on your continued 32nd birthdays. What I love about that is when I grew up, I had an organ teacher who was also always 39. So I know Dean will stay young. One of the things I loved about when I came and interviewed, he was very open to lots of different interpretations of music. And that's what made this church amazingly fun. It wasn't one style, it wasn't another style. He's very, very open, he's very inclusive. You know, when I first got here, I hadn't even joined the church, and they were doing the cantata. He's like, sure, you can sing. Okay, sure. So I joined the cantata even before I joined the church. So I just, you know, that type of inclusive heart. When my stepbrother, who came down from Oregon and visited the church, he happens to be a drummer. That day, Dean's like, hey, you know, we could use drums on the choir piece. Scott, do you want to play? And Scott's, sure. I can't think of too many other music directors on Sunday morning that would just say, let's do that. I mean, that's kind of, Dean, one of your amazingly special things. And of course, with the kids, Ethan and Camille are part of it. And the mix of classical and modern and bluegrass and all the different cantatas we've done. I mean, how many bluegrass cantatas have you heard other than you? I know, it's amazing, I love it. Dean challenges the status quo. He doesn't let just, okay, we've always done it this way, therefore, let's do something new. Sometimes on Sunday mornings, we'll be going through a hymn and we're like, you know, maybe we could change it to this rhythm, or maybe we could change it to this style. And that day, we experiment, and I love that. We also have a lot of open to, you know, let's say organ plus other stuff. You know, we have organ plus percussion or trumpet or things that not a lot of churches that have the organ will do. Sometimes the organists are kind of purists and like, oh, I play Bach and I do this. And Dean, fortunately, is able to open that up a lot. And it's always fun. It's very memorable, zany. Nobody's really said some of the things that happen in choir, but let's just say things happen in choir, which are lots and lots of fun. Things that like he's very expressive in how the music should be, right? So instead of saying, okay, quarter notes and let's sing it this way, he tries to get you to know the feeling, right? So if you put a little emphasis into it and then bring it back, it's the shopping cart, right? Shopping cart for the choir members, right? You guys remember that? Or if you need to raise the pitch just a little bit, he uses the analogy of a pin under your, yes, hind seat. Like, okay, boost it up a little bit. It's very visual. So the other thing is he's got some very wonderful quotes. Sorry.
Secure.
Yeah, it is. You know what? That's actually making it harder to speak. Seriously. Yeah. So I'll just say that one of the things that Dean has really inspired is not only his exactness and his professionalness, but his fun throughout the whole thing. So, Dean, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I'm sure there's no stories from a rehearsal here, because when a Dean and a Phil started talking, it's like a laugh-in without the cigarettes. Think about it, yeah. Okay, I got a letter here from a choir member who couldn't be here and asked me to read a letter to you. And like I said before, I'm smart, and I'm thinking, that would be boring just to read a letter. Why don't you read a letter in the accent of the person that wrote it? And it'd be just like if they were here. So that's what I did. I work a long time on this. I used a mirror to practice. Think about it. Here goes. I've been a choir member here off and on for about 40 years. I've sung for 5 or 6 different directors and met many musicians, artists, and teachers of the arts in my career as an educator. One thing I've learned is that super talented people are frequently difficult to deal with. They seem to believe that since they are so talented, they're better or more valuable than less talented folks. We've had 2 remarkable exceptions to that, Ron Sanio and now Dean. It is amazing to me that an incredible artist such as Dean can work with our variety of musical groups and have so little drama in those activities. I realize as I'm writing this that when our hour-and-a-half rehearsal is over every Thursday night, I feel tired because we worked hard and exhilarated because we had so much fun. Dean is able to get the best out of us without browbeating us. And then there is the end of rehearsal, when Dean leads us in prayer, and we are reminded again that he is a caring, spiritual, and talented leader. We are so blessed to have experienced the gift of Dean for 20 years. I hope we can experience it 20 more with him. Thank you, Dean. Now we have Eileen.
See if I can get this mic to work for me. I've had the privilege of playing for 20 years in Dean's Bell choirs and singing in the chancel choir. So I have the insight of seeing how he changes his style of directing to meet the needs of each choir during Thursday night choir practices. In the first bell choir practice at 5:20, we are not as experienced in music as some, so we focus our jokes away from the music, trying to get out of having to play the piece one more time. Dean eases us back to the music at hand and asks us to play it again, starting from the last 2 measures. He repeats that a good finish makes everyone think that we played well, even if we didn't. The 620 bell choir gives their opinions more about the music. How can we play 3 notes at one time, 2 ringing and 1 melodic, and turn the page? He will demonstrate for us, and we get it eventually. Or he tells us which note is more important and just don't play the other one. In the singing choir at 7:30, fatigue hits me, but not Dean. He still has an uplifted sense of humor and courtesy. He says the sopranos need to go over their measure 15. He could have said, Eileen, you missed it. He lets us ask for help and lets us tease him a bit. Phil sits at the piano to the side of Dean and makes funny faces when Dean isn't looking. We love you, Dean. Thank you.
Now we have a special treat. The choir is going to sing it to Dean. And now, if you will recognize that this is a tune if you're over 60. The words are brand new, written by Reverend Dr. Dana Kincaid. Fantastic. So Mark Kemp is going to be our director, and Phil will play the piano. Where's the piano? Oh, come on, Fred.
You're gonna sing with that.
I'll try. It's getting late. I don't want to miss my plane. Tomorrow is a Monday in Aroma, and on a Monday special today, the Roma Olive Garden has a Macaroni Monday. I gotta be going. Dean, congratulations. Congratulations to this church. And now Linda will take over. Arrivederci.